Hello everyone. The next topic which we will be discussing is about the digestive glands. So, the glands that are associated with the human digestive system, they are known as the digestive glands. So, what these glands do? These glands, they secrete some of the digestive juices for the digestion of the food. And the digestive glands are salivary glands, gastric glands, pancreas, intestinal glands, and liver. So these are all the digestive glands that are included in the process of the digestion of the food or the digestive processes. So the digestion or the digestive glands, they secrete digestive juices which contains enzymes for the digestion of the food, and they also contain that are associated glands such as pancreas, which secrete insulin, liver, which secrete bile, and which releases their secretions in the alimentary canal to facilitate the digestion. So this is the introduction part. Next comes the what are the digestive glands? Salivary glands, gastric glands, pancreas, liver, and intestinal glands. So all these glands, they play a major role in the process of the digestion of the food. So first we will be discussing is the salivary glands. So this is a pictorial representation of all the glands here that are used. So there is a liver, then the gastric glands that is being represented in the form of a stomach, intestinal glands, pancreas, and the salivary glands. So first we will be discussing is the salivary glands. So salivary glands, it is a gland that secretes saliva into the oral cavity. These glands secrete the saliva or salivary amylase and is a viscous colorless liquid. It is uniformly secreted in small quantities to keep the buccal cavity moist. Saliva, it is responsible for the digestion of starch into the maltose. The main function of these salivary glands is to produce saliva, which softens, moistens, and dissolves the food, cleanses mouth and teeth, and initiates the digestion of starch. So, we have discussed all these parts. Third is it enhances the sense of taste by acting as a solvent. It prevents desiccation of the oral mucosa since water evaporates slowly from the saliva. It helps in moistening the dry food and facilitates swelling by the lubricating action. So the saliva acts as a lubricant while we swallow the food. So it is a viscous colorless liquid, as we know. So what is the pH of the saliva? The pH of the saliva range between 6.2 to 7.4, and chemically saliva is about 99.5% water and about 0.5% solute. Among the solutes are ions and various organic substances that can include the urea, uric acid, mucus, IgA, lysozymes, and salivary amylase. The salivary amylase is an alpha amylase. So saliva begins digestion of the carbohydrates in the mouth through the action of salivary amylase, and the secretion of saliva is called salivation. So this was all about the salivary glands and the functions of the saliva. Next we will talk about is the gastric glands. So gastric glands are simple or branched tubular glands. About 2 to 3 liters of the gastric juices is being secreted daily by the gastric glands in adults, and the secretion is under the control of both the nervous and the hormones. So the wall of the stomach, they have various gastric glands. There are further three types of the gastric glands that are present in the gastric mucosa: peritoneal cells, chief cells, and mucus cells. So what are the functions of these? So peritoneal cells, they supply the hydrochloric acid of the gastric juices. Then chief cells, they produce the pepsin, they produce the enzyme pepsin and other enzymes such as renin and gastric lipase. And mucus cells, what as the name suggests, they secrete the mucin. They will secrete the mucin. So this was about the gastric glands. Next we will talk about is the liver. So liver, as we know, it is one of the largest gland of the human body, and its weight about 1.6 kg. Where it is located? It is located behind the diaphragm on the right side of the upper abdominal cavity. So it is reddish brown and comprises of anatomical lobes. So it mainly comprises of two lobes, the large right lobe and the smaller left lobe with two small lobes. So it has two lobes or two main lobes, the quadrate lobe and the quadrate lobe present behind the main lobes. So under the right lobe, there is a pear-shaped structure which is located, that is called as the gallbladder, which serves as a reservoir and stores the bile juice which is secreted by the liver. So there are many functions that are being performed by the liver. First, it controls the lipogenesis. Second, it controls the blood sugar level. Third, it will secrete the bile which is responsible for the emulsification of the fats. There is a synthesis of vitamin A from beta carotene, which is in the presence of an enzyme carotenase. Beta carotene is an orange yellow substance of the carrot. So other functions include, it detoxifies blood by removing and metabolizing poisonous substances. This is the main function of the liver as well. It stores iron and fat soluble vitamins, for example vitamin A, D, E, K and B12. It makes plasma proteins such as albumins and fibrinogens. It stores glucose as glycogen and convert the glycogen to glucose to maintain the blood sugar concentration. The function of liver also include that it produces urea after breaking down amino acids. There is a production of bile, as we have already know, but it is responsible for the emulsification, and there is absorption of lipids in the small intestine. The bile secreted by the hepatic cell, it passes through the hepatic ducts and it is stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac which is called as the gallbladder. So this was about the functions of the liver. So if we talk about gallbladder, then gallbladder is a pear-shaped muscular sac which is attached to the surface of the liver. It stores and concentrates bile and releases it to the duodenum, which is the opening or entry part of the small intestine. Bile is not transported directly from the liver to the gallbladder. Bile, it is subsequently stored and concentrated in the gallbladder between the meals. So this is the main function of the gallbladder and what is the gallbladder is. Next we will discuss is about the pancreas. So pancreas, it is an elongated gland which is yellowish gland and located behind the stomach, that is lying horizontally in the curvature of the duodenum. It is about 12 to 15 centimeter long and 2.5 centimeter wide and weighs about 60 grams only. So the pancreas, it is both an endocrine as well as an exocrine in nature. It comprises of many branching tubules present in the exocrine tissue called the acini, embedded in the connective tissue that contain the blood and lymph vessels, nerves, and pancreatic ductules. So, if you talk about this, the pancreatic juices, that is, as we know that pancreas, they are both the endocrine and the exocrine, so they perform both the types of function. So, as an endocrine gland, it will secrete two major hormones, that is, the insulin and the glucagon. And as an exocrine gland, it will secrete some of the pancreatic juices. So pancreatic juices is alkaline and it has a very high bicarbonate content. So this is what the pancreas secrete. The pancreas, they give pancreatic juice which is slightly alkaline in nature, and the pH of that is 7.1 to 8.2. Then what are the major functions of the pancreas? So pancreas major functions include the production of the hormones. The hormones such as the insulin hormone, glucagon hormone, and it will also secrete pancreatic juices. The secretion of pancreatic juices, they contain some of the digestive enzymes as well. So this was all about the role of the pancreas, the functions of the pancreas. Next we will discuss is about the intestinal gland. So there are numerous microscopic glands that are present in the mucosa of the small intestine. Now these are being divided into two parts. Crypts of Leukerbin and Berners gland. So what are these? The first one, it is simple tubular gland which occurs throughout the small intestine between the villi. They secrete digestive enzymes and mucus, and these intestinal juices, they contain several enzymes that are involved in the digestion of all the types of the food. So this is the first gland which we have talked about. Then the Brunner's gland. So the main functions here are, they secrete the mucus, it lubricates and sticks the food together. The mucus also protects the mucosal cells from the digestive enzymes, and the mucus lubricates the food in the digestive tract and protects the mucosa of the stomach from the damage. So it helps in the protection of the stomach, the mucosa that helps in the protection of the stomach so that it will not be damaged. So this was about the intestinal glands. Now this was all about the glands of the digestive system. These are some of the references. Thank you.